Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Thursday. It is December the 8th. This will be our chart lesson for the day, and nice trend today. Early on, it was hard to get a read on this. It looked like we might go sideways here at first, and it looked like it might be a spike in channel here, but in the end, this just turns out to be a midline, and we get a nice bounce down here. You didn't really need this line to find any of this today. Um, But once we started going lower, always take your measured move and move it down and put another line down there just in case it turns out to be a two-tiered channel, much like this one. But even if you didn't consider it two-tiered and this was your break, you had a couple of legs up to a new high, and then you had one more push and then it reversed. So it still worked out the same either way. You just may not have found a couple of these entries right here. They're still findable, but you didn't need this trend line necessarily, but they helped. So, and every time I try to do this, somebody made a comment yesterday about check my text, but every time I try to do my chart lesson, my phone starts texting. It's because I'm doing it right around the 5 o'clock hour, I guess, and people will start looking for me around 5 o'clock. If I'm not out of here yet. But anyway, I apologize for all the whistles in the background, but there's nothing I can do about it. So, um, but anyway, yeah, nice two-tiered trend working up. Even if you didn't find the other side, you should have found this, and then you get your break, and of course, there's your first leg up, and then you'd look for a measured leg, which gets you right back here. But we went much higher than that. Once we started going higher, I'd look for prices to maybe reach this other side again up here, and of course that's what we did. And then we finally moved down and got the break, and we were working on a retest there. But I do believe it's a two-tiered channel. Doesn't matter if you found this lower one or not. The trades are still there. Uh, this lower one definitely would have helped strengthen these other trades, but they're still there all the same. But anyway, let's back out a little bit and talk about the trades, and we'll wrap this week up. Just remember, no chart lesson on Friday, so no chart lesson tomorrow. But when I came in, we had this big spike up, two legs up, and then we had a little correction. Um, and there's actually a first entry right here, and then it pulls back and gives you a little failure down there, and you get a nice second entry long right here. Continues up. I was hoping maybe we'd get a continued trend higher here, but we don't do it. There's actually a trend line working up here, but you don't find a good fit on the other side anywhere. So and this is more sideways. So I was playing this more of a range at this point, with the failed break lower and then a failed break higher, but then you get the higher low right here. You actually get the higher low right here, but then you get a second entry off of it right here. And you might have even been tempted to go short right here. Um, but I would skip this one. Your closes are so close. You got a lot of stem here, but generally you want to pay a little bit of attention to these closes. And you only have a couple of ticks there. So I was really concerned that it would do exactly what it did. So I just sat tight, and then when we got the chance to go higher, you get another little run up, and then it pulls back, and then you get a first entry, pull back, and another second entry. And this is really almost a repeat pattern, same thing all over again. Another chance to get long, then it pulls back, first entry, pull back, second entry long. And at this point, we're really going sideways, so I'm playing this range here. There is a bounce here, but that's a first entry, and you may not have had this trend line here. I didn't draw it until we got the third bounce right here, and then I noticed, hey, maybe this is a spiking channel, which is what I thought it was early on. But again, you get another second entry long here. This is not a great signal bar. It's got a couple of ticks at the top here, so and it's a first entry. Because you can count that as a new high. So I think you're better off to wait. And when you got the higher low here and a little more bullish bar, I like going long. And again, it's just a repeat pattern almost. It happens 3 times in a row there. And at this point, you're only hoping it goes to here, but this just pushes right on through. Then it pulls back first entry, pull back second entry. There's actually another entry here I missed. You actually might have considered entering here, um, but this is going sideways, and there's a doji right in the middle. So you can treat this like a little failed break lower. So there's actually, I think this one's a little more aggressive. I think, but when you get this second attempt, um, I'm okay with making that one blue. So this first one, I just was a little bit leery of it um, because we were going sideways, and I was afraid this thing might try to go lower again and give you a chance to get short. But you don't want to go short right there. But if it would have given you a little breakout pullback along that line, I might have gotten short again. But instead, it breaks out to the upper side. So now you've got your break of this and a move to a new high and a bearish bar, and it's a failed break higher. So I like going short right there. And then it moves down. It shoots right through the EMA, pulls back. I don't like this one. You're not quite back to the EMA. It does confirm this trend line. It is relatively bearish, and you're figuring prices are probably coming back to test this low again. So, looking at it after the fact, I'd say yeah, but at the time, if you're looking at it the hard right side of the chart, it's not a great setup. So I'll give it a green one, but I think you're better off. Your entry was right here, but you see at the far right side of the screen how it looks. It is off that trend line, but you don't have much room here. Of course, there's plenty of room down to here and definitely down to here, but I just was a little leery of it without it being the failed, the perfect reversal pattern. This is still a reversal pattern because it shoots right through that EMA. But here was your better entry when it pulls back. Now you got a failed second entry long. Just go short right there. Look how bearish that bar is. And a nice move down. And of course we get a little failed break lower here. But notice what we're having. You got a channel working down. You get a break and a move to a new low, and it bounces right. And if you had this on here, thinking this is a trend line in the upper side, just get your measured move, pull it down, and put your line there, and it bounces right at it. So you got your break, move to it's a failed break lower. It's a bounce off possible trend line. There's nothing else there to verify that. But even if you don't have that, it's a failed break lower, and you've already had your break of this channel and a new low. And plus, this is support working across here, and it's a failed break lower. So there's enough reason to go long, and then you get your reversal pattern right here. Notice you shoot up, you go right through the EMA, pull back first entry, you go up again. Second entry, it fails. Look at that bullish bar, go long there. And then it actually pulls back and confirms this trend line, but you don't have much room there. And even on that one right there, if it would have ticked lower and bounced again off that line, maybe, but you don't have a lot of room there. Keeps working up, then you finally get your break here. Move to a new high, and then it reverses. You might have considered a short here, but because it does get the break of this trend line right, working up here, it's a break and a new high. And this is resistance up here, but generally you're better off to wait on the lower high, and that doesn't come till over here. But by that time, you get this other bounce off this trend line right here, and that pretty much is confirming it. I don't think you want to go long yet because you don't have a break of this one yet. You do get the break here, and this one's a little tricky too because it is your lower high, and you do have room to get out most likely before you get back down to these lows or this trend line. So if you got tricked there, when it reverses, I'd probably go long there. And even on this long, it's a higher low, but I wouldn't have been interested in that if it had to come off that trend line. And then still, you got to be a little bit worried about this resistance right here. But if this channel is correct, where are we likely going? We're at least going to make, even if this channel is not correct with the break here, we're probably going to try to make a new high. But if this channel's right, we're probably going all the way back up to this other side. So I felt like that one was worth taking. It's not a great signal bar. Really, this probably should be green. I'm going to change it. I think it's a little bit, because of the signal bar and the fact that you have that resistance there, it's a little bit more risky. What you might do is let it break higher, and if you can get in with a limit order down here with enough room to get out, then I'm okay. Because see it, you can see it did get resistance there before it pushed on through. So that makes it a little more risky. This one, and the only reason this one's risky, because you do have plenty of room, is just because of that trend line working down there. But a lot of times when you're in a little range like that and it bounces off one side or the other, you don't get a retest because everybody's looking to buy because they know there's strong support and they just start buying. So it runs up. We kind of go sideways here. You get that little push up and it comes down right off the trend line. And we're just kind of working sideways again here. Notice that you get a break of this. You get one attempt to go lower, a second attempt to go lower, and then it heads higher again. And it's right off that midline. So if you didn't have this midline and you didn't realize what was going on with that going sideways, I wouldn't do anything there. Because really you've got two attempts to go up that fail and you got two attempts to go down that fail. But really what it is you got two tests of this midline and then it goes higher. Look how bullish that bar is. We didn't quite get back to the trend line there. We turned down, pull back. But notice we got a break here now. That's another reason you wouldn't be looking to go short here, is because you got this trend line working up and you got a confirmation of your third touch right there. You didn't really want to enter there. And I think you don't want to enter this one just in case, because we don't have a new low yet. But when it tries that second time, go long there. So hopefully that explains that one a little better. And then we're running down, pulls back. You got this little trend line working here. It closes right inside. It's a big bearish part. It is into the EMA, but we've already come off the high side once, and we didn't quite get back there the next time. So you're probably going to push on through that a little bit, even if you're going to go higher again. That turns out to be a great trade. You don't know that it's going to drop that fast and that hard. Of course, you get an overshoot here, and that's probably going to lead to an overshoot soon on the other side. And it goes straight on through, and then that's your failed second entry long on your reversal. We aren't back down to here yet. We don't have a new low after this break, so that's probably going to lead you to it, and this thing just kind of takes off. So now you got your break outside again here. It looks very similar to this one. It moves to its new low. It's a lot bigger move than this one was, and it tries to go lower twice and fails again. Just go long right there. It's the same thing as this one. It's just a little bigger pattern, but it's a repeat of this one. And so I like going long again. And that pretty much got you into the 2 o'clock hour. So this was a really good trading day. And normally you probably would not want to go short here if you didn't have this range stuff going on. This is really more trading the range. And then this one, you could have considered that we had a break and a couple legs up to a new high, but it's also still we just come off the high side. We didn't get back there the next time, so we're probably going at least to the other side, but we end up getting a break here. So that's why I like these two, and that is a nice reversal pattern there. So really good day. You could have almost considered we were in a range until 11 o'clock. And if you were looking at this as a range, I'd probably be okay with that trade. And maybe even this one if you're looking at it like that, but you would have got burned on this. This is there's exactly 4 ticks in there. So you may not have got out of that one, most likely wouldn't have got out of that one, and it would have reversed on you. So just something to think about on that short right there. If you were looking at this as a range only and you didn't see this what looks like a spiking channel here. So, um, but anyway, I'm not going to beat around the bush. Uh, nice trading day, several good longs here, and hopefully you had a great trading day. So, but we'll be back again to do it Monday. I hope you have a great weekend. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.